Yeah, we were up there. Oh wow, yes.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. So up here
Yeah.
is a...
We had the cupola.
Ooh, I see daylight.
Yeah, because now we have no cupola.
Sometimes location is a great benefit to your business, such as oceanfront restaurants. And sometimes you are Belgium, inconveniently located in between Germany and France, thus always finding yourself in the way of the traditional European invasion force. So naturally Belgium surrounded their major cities with forts, such as here in Liège, surrounded by great forts constructed from the late 19th century, most according to the plans of Henri Brialmont, constructed of unreinforced concrete. With most of the heavy weapons placed in the central massif, Fort de Flemalle is one of these historic forts, one which found itself right in the line of fire, both in 1914 and later in 1940, bombed and taken by German forces on both counts. In 1914, this was one of the last forts to surrender, and this time only after the Germans had completely destroyed the Fort de Lonquin we visited a few years ago with their 400mm howitzers. And it was clear that the fort, designed only to withstand 21cm shell fire, was incapable of surviving the ones the Germans had rolled up of twice that size. That left the interwar years, where the fort was reinforced and upgraded with more modern weapons, of course made by Krupp, a rearrangement of the armored artillery domes in the central massif, along with other improvements in communications, sanitary, and electricity installed. Also, 6 anti-aircraft guns were installed here, and in 1940 they would be put to the test. The fort was bombed a lot before the German infantry closed in for more direct artillery fire, and only after all heavy weapons had been destroyed did the fort surrender. This is an interesting, huge multi-level fortress deep underground, but other things make this an extremely interesting place to visit. One are the upgrades, or at time the illusion of upgrades. More will be explained. And the fact that the association who's caring for the fort have tasked my new friend here, Valentine, to create or recreate all the battle stations in virtual reality, which really makes this an interesting visiting experience, and something I have recommended to other forts in my speech at the last Fortress Conference. Bringing back long-lost parts of history virtually, if they can't be brought back for real. And as if it was not bad enough that the fort was bombed into a moon-like landscape during the two wars, all the steel domes and heavy weaponry was removed by the organization Todt to harvest the steel for the Atlantic Wall construction. It's always sad when historic tools of war is destroyed in such a way, but that has always been the way of history, and I suppose they can be seen somewhere in the steel cupolas of the Atlantic Wall. But I would like to rescue an old dome from somewhere for the fort here, at least to keep the sheep from falling into the dome wells. Obviously there was machine gun weaponry here, but it was ripped out by the Germans for use in the Atlantic Wall, so it's no longer here. But this was the original facade of the late 1800s fort that was retrofitted. You have a little bit of metal that's missing, like everywhere else. But you have a story here that started all the way, 1881?
Yeah.
What is the story? What happened here?
The fort was built in 1888 for the independence of Belgium, and it was not the only one. It was built with 11 of a fort here in around Liège.
Yeah.
And here in Flemalle we have the particularities to be not triangular fort with three sides. Here we have 4 sides.
You have 4 sides?
Yes. because here the hill of the fort was too small to build a very big triangular fort. And here we have fought during the First World War, and the Fort of Flemalle is the last one to fight during the First World War. And the rendition of the fort was the 16th of Augustus, 14. Yes, sorry. And here, why this fort surrendered? Because they saw the fort of Lonsa explode. The explosion of Fort of Lonsa was the 15th of Augustus, and here the 16th of Augustus. This was the rendition of the fort because they have seen the explosion of the Fort of Lonsa.
And this is from the design. Was this a Brialmont design?
Yes, yes.
Which means it did not have reinforced cement. It was cement, but not reinforced with rebar.
Yeah.
So yeah, how thick are the walls on average when you look at the? I mean, it looks. I see rebar though.
Yeah. But it's a Second World War part.
Okay.
But the original concrete of the fort was not reinforced. But we have the thickness of the wall was 2 meters, 2 meters thick.
And that was good enough for 1890 up until World War I. It's not thick enough then.
No. During before the First World War, it was okay. Fort was dimensioned for des obus for ammunitions of 21 centimeters.
Yeah.
And here in 1914, it was ammunitions of 42 centimeters.
Yeah.
Like the Grossberta.
Things got a lot bigger and a lot heavier.
Yeah.
And you had, for World War I, you had steel domes, machine guns, and cannon turrets here.
Yeah.
And that's what I think, a lot of people, they don't understand. When they think World War I, they think trenches and mud. They don't think forts and steel domes and machine guns and cannon positions, which I think is interesting. What was the armament for World War I?
Here we had 2 howitzer of 21 centimeters. It was for to defend the area here because we have a lot of rivers, etc.
Yeah. Terrain.
Yeah, the terrain. Yeah, simple. It's very difficult to defend with only cannons. So we have a howitzer to shoot in the
Oh, so you had mortars here as well for...
No, it was not mortars. It was only howitzers.
Howitzers.
And howitzers shoots in dome and not
straight fire.
Not straight. Yes.
And World War I didn't start envisioning that there was going to be a tank situation where you needed straight on fire. So the Germans occupied the fort in World War I.
Yeah.
And then between the wars, you started, like the French did, to up-arm and prepare your defensive. The French always knew in the Middle Year Wars that there was going to be a World War II. And I always said, with the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, yes, that's why you knew there was going to be a World War II, because the Germans had to fix this.
Yeah.
Did the Belgium have the same? Did you have the same mindset that this is going to happen again?
The mindset of Belgian authorities changed during the Middle War. Yes. First idea was to make treaties with other countries to have a very big possibility of replicate for German. But in 1927, I think, Belgium became a second time neutral country.
Yes.
And it's a very important change because in the first time they built new fortifications like Fort of Flemalle, Tancremont,
Yeah.
etc. And they began to construct this new fortification. And since in 1927, I think, the Treaty of Locarno make Belgium neutral again. And so they reduce the program of fortification to only protect Belgium.
Only defensive armament,
Yes.
nothing offensive.
Yes,
That's-
yes.
So this was upgraded for World War II.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the upgrades?
The main ideas of the upgrade was to build a new fort in the old fort with reinforced concrete this time.
Okay.
No, we built smaller galleries with reinforced concrete in the old galleries of the First World War. It was the first principle. The second principle was to build a floor under the old fort.
Ooh, tunnels.
Yes, to
Oh,
go
we like tunnels.
to go deeper. It was like the 17 works in Verdun.
Yeah.
It's the same principle, but a little bit more with a better conception.
Okay.
And the third idea of the reinforcement was to obstruct the access of the gas inside the fort. Because during the First World War here in Ypres, or in Ypres, it depends on the pronunciation, you have the first utilization of chemical
Yes.
weapons. And here all the fort for the Second World War was concept to obstruct the access of the gas inside the
So
fortress.
overpressure had
Yeah.
to be done.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess you up-armed it as well.
What?
So, yeah, then you get up-armed it as well. No more black powder cannons, I'm guessing?
Not black powders, but it was not new cannons. It was reutilization weapons of the German army given as
Of course.
given in the end of the First World War.
Okay, so yeah, I remember World War I. You had the black powder cannons. That was a bit messy. So okay, so new munitions and old cannons.
Yeah.
And wow, all right. And then on and then on May 10th, when the war started, how did that go? Or how did those days go?
It was awful.
I see a lot of holes. Driving up here, I see a lot of holes and a lot of cement. It can't have been fun.
Yeah, Flemalle was the most
Shelled?
yes, but shelled with Stukas.
Ooh, bombed.
Yeah, bombed. Sorry. Yes, it was the fort who was the most bombed during the Second World War with Stukas. Here we have 41 bombs of 500 kilos bombed here in the fort, and so you will see after it's very
Cheese-like?
yes, sort of cheese. Yes,
Holy?
It's really impressive to see the surface of the fort now.
Yeah, I couldn't help to notice. I mean, that's not an aerial bomb, and I see some holes in there. Was there direct fire attack here as well?
No, here the holes in the walls was made to take the steel parts out. It's the German in 1941.
Oh, the Germans did it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
thought we were gonna blame it on the scrappers again.
No. It's the German in 1941 to have a new steel, etc. for the Atlantic Wall. It's the
So all the armaments and domes and everything was removed by the
Yeah.
Germans for the. Oh, okay.
But cupola was not reused. It was only cut it
Yeah.
to have new steels.
Yeah. Oh, that's. I hate when people that dismantle historical places, no matter who did it or why, even in the middle of the war. Stop doing it. I think we should have a look and see what's in here because there's a very specific reason I wanted us all to go visit this fort, because it was one of the forts that was built in the late 1800s that was in use for both World War I, refitted, then for World War II. But the way they refitted this from 1800s, World War I, World War II, and the different retrofits is clear to be seen here, and I think we should dive back into history, see some details, and take a look at how they did things here.
This is reinforced concrete. It was for Second World War, but here you can see the difference between the two periods of the fort. First World War with simple concrete, and Second World War, these small parts in the old fort with reinforced concrete.
That is really interesting. And I mean, some of this does look like shrapnel.
Yes, it's different type of ammunitions, but we have no details of which type precise.
So we don't know if this was, could have this been testing or battle damage?
We think that it's battle damage.
Yeah. So this was new, or this was this an addition? Or did there used to be a machine gun here pointing, I'm guessing, right at the door there.
Yes, originally it was a machine gun, but here it was a hole, and then we put a new wall to obstruct the access of eventual visitors inside the fort.
And this, so you would have had machine guns or cannon pointing down.
Yes, it was two machine guns during Second World War. It was two cannons during First World War, and here you had also a searchlight.
Yes.
Here, and then it was a grenade launcher.
Of course.
To defend all this area.
And these would fire down this walkway here.
This two bunkers was to defend this moat, and these all other two bunkers was to defend the other moat.
And we do like moats. All right, so this is your 3D. Wow. So you when you look around, you're completely rebuilt the fort.
Yes.
As it looked as you're here. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Dude, this is awesome. Guys, you have to see this. Yes, you have to be here to see this, because I was like, where am I? This is almost like I'm here. Well, I am here. This is awesome. I love this. And it's just, I could become a fan of technology. Yeah, you got to see this. You got. I got to hire you to do something as well. Wow.
And the conception of the Fort of Flemalle was very problematic for the Second World War.
Yeah.
They don't conceive to have planes.
Especially not in the way they ended up being used. This is really cool. So this runs along the inside of the moat, and this is for the interior of the fort, and that's for the other side. This is where you tell me, where do I go?
We will go there.
And we'll go here.
Pay attention to your head and to your feet, always.
There's nothing inside my head that's of any value.
Here it was the old place of a machine gun to defend the entry of the fort.
This is sort of, this is the pre-World War I part, right?
No, here is Second World War.
This tunnel as well, because it's very narrow.
Yes. Pay attention.
I know.
And the way to see if it's First or Second World War, you can see all here where you have steel galvanized top.
Yeah.
It's the Second World War.
This looks like something came in.
Yes, I know, but I have no explain for this small destruction. I don't know why it's here, because here it was closed, during the Second World War.
Unless something would have penetrated and...
I don't know.
don't know.
During the fights, no. But after, maybe trying of German weapons, I don't know.
Lots of testing, I remember. So is this a... What do you got going on here?
This was a place to put ammunitions of the machine gun.
Really? In the floor?
Yeah.
That's different. I thought it was going to be like a little trap or something.
No. Yeah. Sorry.
What used to be here? So I see red brick as well.
Yeah, red bricks are for the First World War. It was a wall of an inside wall of the First World War, and here you can see the reinforced part for the Second World War.
So that's what they did. Wow.
And here it's full of earth, etc. And this earth came from new floors.
Okay, so they pulled up the dirt from down below as they
Yeah.
dug the tunnels and filled them up in the way.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's smart. Okay, I see damage.
Here, yes, but damage was made by German in 1941 when they have took the
metal.
steel roof.
Oh yes, I see. There's the grooves for the corrugated roof that is no longer there.
Mm.
Okay, so when they built it, they put up the corrugated roof and then they filled cement and rebar on top.
Yeah.
Okay, well it gives an idea of the construction.
With 25 centimeters of reinforced concrete.
Oh yes, I completely see how that's...
Here you
Oh,
can
that's
see
missing
the original metal roof, and then low base. Here it's the original.
Well, they couldn't get that plate out there.
They stay in place, but here it's gone.
It's funny, I knew the, I'm guessing ammunition elevator?
Yeah, of course. And we go 18 meters deeper.
Well, usually it's like 30, so 18 I'm totally good with. I spend a lot of time going up and down stairways and ladders.
But here we have no ladders still in place.
So you had electronics, you used radio, telephone?
Here, this place was for electrical part of the fort. It was only electrical boxes.
Yeah.
But no, it was not for phone here.
And here the roof is still in place?
Yeah. Why, I don't know, but it's still in place. Pay attention to your head and to your feet.
This was for the searchlight then?
The searchlight was there,
Yeah.
and the machine gun was in the center.
And of course you see, this would have been the view down the moat there.
The protection for the searchlight.
Yeah.
2 centimeters of steel, 2.5 centimeters of steel.
Let me see, what's the penetration of a Pak 36? Is that 3?
I don't know.
Oh, I see the rebar in there, yeah.
The access to the second
Yeah,
shooting room.
pulled out all the metal, yeah.
And here you can see the original concrete, the original concrete part, and the reinforced thing of the Second World War. It's very interesting to see the different periods of the using of the fort.
Well, especially as an architect, you must really and this would be ammunition storage.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, 47 millimeter?
Oh no! Here it was a small machine gun
Oh, small.
of 7.65 millimeters.
So there's a World War One. There was a smaller machine gun, cannon here.
During the First World War, here it was a fast shooting cannon of 5.7 centimeters for the beer, etc., for the place of the Allied soldiers, etc.
Oh, so like the gun positions and so on. I mean, there must be pictures of some of the weaponry.
Not of this fort, but
Really?
in other fort we have pictures, but here inside we have nothing. Pay attention to your head and to your feet. Here it's a place, a very important place. It was the tanks for drink water.
It's important.
And in other forts you have normal well. Here it was no drink water in the ground. So here it's another conception. You have mining not far away from here, and in the mining you have galleries to take water to don't put all this water in the mine gallery. And so here this water was took here in the fort to drink.
And that's important.
Yeah.
It's fairly high up. I actually would thought the water had been lower down.
We
Or
can
how
see.
deep is it?
It's 3.5 meters deep, and pay attention,
Yeah.
because it's full.
Oh, good. It is. It looks clear too.
Yeah.
That actually does look very clear.
And it's more than 3 meters deep, and it's 9 meters.
And there's so the pipe is so they would bring the water through the pipe from the outside.
Yeah. And it came here.
Yeah, that is important.
It's the only tank visible now in the fort. But during the First and Second World War there were more, but it's the only one that is visible.
What are you hiding in there?
It was small galleries, small technical galleries to evacuate the rainwater,
Okay.
the infiltration water.
I'm looking at medieval forts, little walkways.
And here it's all the empty locales. During the First World War it was the nursery.
Nursery, really?
Yes, of nurseries.
Oh,
I think.
the hospital and
Yeah, it was
medical.
part of the hospital.
Yeah.
In French it's infirmerie.
Infirmary.
Yeah.
Infirmary.
Yeah, sorry.
I think it is that in every one of them.
And here it was the room for the gas soldiers.
Okay.
But now it's only empty locales. But during the Second World War it was full of equipments.
Yeah. Yeah, you can really see how they pulled out all the metal. So was there heating in here?
Yeah. During the Second World War we have a heating system, and normally here it was 18 degrees.
There's a wall in the door. It's in the way.
Yes, because
Can we fix this?
here we have in the other side we have a shooting.
Shooting at that.
Yes, and
Yeah.
so it's closed.
So underneath us, is there this is just straight ground right here, or was it an oval, the hallway?
Yes, sorry, but I don't understand.
Yeah, I know, I was listening to myself ask that, and I'm like, I don't understand what I'm saying.
Normally it was all flat, but the original level of the floor was here. And here it was placed for electrical cables.
Ah, that's...
And beside this concrete place, we have the place for the fresh air.
Underneath.
Yes. Electrical cable.
Yes.
And then the place for the fresh air. And here it's your first reinforced fort. Pontis, yes, but you have only visited the outside. No. Officially, you have only visited the outside. Okay.
Well, I did little tunnels that were next to the entrance, the little insides of the walls. I did see those because I mean, if he's going to lock me in there, I'm going to explode it. So here you have spare parts.
Yeah, here it's electrical boxes, not from the fort, but it's the same than we had in the fort during the Second World War. And the idea was to put back on the wall like it was during the Second World War.
Yes.
But it's very hard work.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of volunteers?
No,
Really?
we are only 7.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sad. I live in the wrong country. I really do, because this is just amazing. This is like antique roadshow going crazy. And you still have the corrugated steel roofs in here. And that's an air shaft?
Yes. Yeah. For the overpressure.
What are those handles over there?
It's part of electrical system, but in English I don't know.
Handle?
Yeah. First action locale for the gassed soldiers. And here you can see how it looks like, during the Second World War. It was this place here with shower for the clothes. Only for the clothes. Decontamination showers, but only for clothes.
Yeah.
And here in the second room, it was the place for the first analysis of the soldier. Diagnostic.
Triage. Medical?
Yes.
Triage.
Sort of.
Sort of, yeah. Yeah. This is great. Now we're just going to get you a bunch of guns, too.
What?
We need to get you a bunch of cannons and some guns.
Because it's harder to find than electrical boxes.
I would imagine so. I mean, even if we have to make some replicas.
Yes, but it's really expensive.
It's funny you should mention it. I know a guy. He's in Poland. It's not that expensive. I think we can fix something. Am I going to a hole instead?
It was a place for explosive storage. And there you are in the old part of the fort.
Yes.
It's a First World War room, and then you can see the reinforcing of the Second World War here. The old corridor here, the old gallery, and the new concrete to make smaller spaces.
So everything else in here that's
First World War.
So that's actually 1800.
Yes.
And this is full of stuff.
Yes. And here it's the same principle. All this sand, etc., came from the digging of the new floors.
Makes perfect sense. And these are bricks, thin bricks.
Here, yes, the inside, the small inside walls during the First World War were built with bricks.
Yeah.
It was easier to build than concrete.
I mean, that's how you did it. For all these centuries, bricks and stones. And then it was brand new technology in 1881 to start with cement and.
Yes, it's Belgian forts, Brialmont forts, were the first to be built only with concrete. It's world first experience.
Yeah, Brialmont was that was a thing. He was that was not a thing. That was a guy. Never mind. You know what I mean. I'm seeing a room for things.
Here it was the place for the heating system.
That is an interesting foundation.
Yes, it was the place of the boiler.
Boil, that's
A coal boiler. And here it's a really interesting painting from the 19th century.
What is it of?
It was here, you can see the Belgian flag.
Yeah.
Here. Here it's lion head, because it's the symbol of Belgium. And here in these small pieces you had the name of the members of the royal family. But here it disappeared, but here you have SAR, it's for, in French, Son Altesse Royale. Here Clémentine, but it disappeared. And here it's the date 1872. And it was the daughter of our second not queen, king.
These are the nice personal touches the soldiers did.
Yeah.
We like those.
And here on the top you can see also a flower, yes, in French it's lys flower, but I don't know in English. That's the name.
How do they get up there?
With some letters.
So is that the outer wall through there?
Here this wall was built for the Second World War, and there you can see a new time, the sand from the digging of the other.
So that's the reinforcement difference.
Yes.
That's.
And here it was the storage for the coal.
Oh. And okay, so that's why that square is there for to vent the. That must have been a vent.
Maybe.
And this is new?
During the First World War you had here a door and here a window, a second window, but it was condemned for the Second World War, but this was a new entry for the locale and not the original entry. Here it was the place for a steel beam, lock system.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a security, because this room was not reinforced with steel roof.
Yes.
And so it's more dangerous in this room than on the other side of the
fort. This could be cracked and entered. Yeah. Technical tunnel.
Yeah.
And that's old fort. I see bricks.
Yeah.
Lots of bricks and lots of hallways.
Here, these tunnels were built with bricks because it was for the rain infiltration water, and then bricks with open joints in the masonry was easier to take water inside.
So it would literally just drain out.
Yeah.
Very neat. This is so nice and wide and spacey. And I see damage here again.
Yeah.
From
the recuperation of the steel. Here it was the place of the oil tanks, and here it was a hand pump to put oil in small rolling tanks to go to the engine room.
Oh yes. Yeah, that's big square tanks.
Yeah. One tank was 1,875 liters of oil. And it's the way to go to the emergency exit.
Oh wow, this is the out exit right here. I see sunlight.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
It goes to the moat.
So there's more but smaller tanks. I guess in the 1800s when they were built this, they didn't plan for oil and machinery, did they?
No, during the First World War it was a coal system with steam. And this is a really important place, sorry. It's the toilets.
Ah, this was! Oh, I thought it was more oil tanks. No, toilets, more important, yes.
Here, no, it's the toilets, and it's the principal toilets, the 9 principal toilets for the 350 soldiers here.
That's it?
No, we have
the principal.
In total, we have 15 toilets for the 350 soldiers, and here it's the original toilets with the original production.
Oh yes. It's so running that way? It looks like it's.
What?
Is there a? That's just a straight sewer to out.
No. Here we are in a tank because we are deeper than the evacuation system.
Okay. Oh.
So here it's a tank of 125 centimeters deep. 1 meter, more than 1 meter deep, and here it's full since the Second World War.
So how did they empty it?
If it was too full, here you have the possibility to put a hand pump to go outside on the moat.
Okay.
To evacuate.
So so it was that literally pumped outside?
Yeah.
That's not the worst way I've heard.
No, of course, but it was not electrical system, it was a hand pump.
Still better than carrying it in buckets.
Of course.
So this looks, what are we looking at? There's a separation and...
Yes, it's for a structural reason, because here it's smaller places than the original, and to make a better protection, or all this close its small places to be more resistant for the bombing.
So this is literally for World War II reinforcement.
Yeah. Of course.
Office?
No, it was a storage local, but storage room. But here we have put pieces of our digging work.
Ooh.
But it looks like nothing. But it's more interesting parts.
It is. It's the interesting parts that you find, and then you have to find out where they belong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
We will go, yes, there after, and we can go straight now.
Oui. I like this. I like. It's got a nice. This is a nice place.
Thank you. It's a airlock here.
Oh, that makes sense.
For the overpressure.
That makes sense.
And there it's our only ammunition lift.
So up here
Yeah.
is a...
We had the cupola.
Oh, I see daylight.
Yeah, because now we have no cupola.
I will have to do a crowdfunding campaign.
Yes, but
We'll build you one. So all these are technical tunnels?
yeah, but this was for the back part of
The casings?
Yes.
The casings will come down here.
Yeah.
Was this cannon or machine gun up there?
Cannon.
Cannon.
A cannon of 75 millimeters.
So was this damaged in fighting or by removal?
Here it's fighting. Here it's a bomb of 500 kilos bombed by Stuka on today, on the 30th May.
And that's the interesting thing we have to remember, being here right now, 81 years ago.
Yeah,
There was fighting right here.
yeah. 30th of May was the first day of the aerial bombing of the fort.
Wow.
Here, if you want to see this room and the cupola on the tree.
Yes.
For soldiers. Enfin, no, not restrooms, sorry. Sleeping rooms.
The sleeping rooms. The kaserne.
Yeah.
Same thing in Danish.
Pay attention to your head and to
I'm not that tall. There seems to be some stuff lying on the ground here that...
Yes, it's the result of the bombing of the Stuka. It's the top of the gallery.
Yeah, I know. How many soldiers were here?
Here it was a room for original 9 soldiers, and we have 8 rooms in the fort for 9 soldiers.
That there must have been more stationed here.
Yes, but the soldiers were divided in three different teams, and so 2 teams were in the guns, and one in the rest, and only a part of this team have to sleep. The other can play cards, etc.
So you're doing 8-hour shifts?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's this?
And here a very interesting history here was this sleeping rooms were not reinforced. You can see it's the original concrete,
Yes.
not reinforced concrete. But during the First World War, here we had a window.
A window?
Yeah, a window in a fortification, I know.
Wow.
Yeah, but why had we a window here? Because this front of the fort was inside the fortress, inside the circular position, and so it's normally protected. But it was too dangerous, so for the Second World War they built a wall with reinforced concrete, and they make a second modification. They put it here a roof, a steel roof, like the other parts of the fort, but with no concrete in the upside. And so why they do this? Because here soldiers, they slept here, have no idea that it was not reinforced concrete on the top of the steel part, and here it's also to that soldiers cannot see the rest of the remainings of the First World War degradations, and so it's only to hide from for the soldiers the old destructions of the fort.
I mean, I guess that's good for morale. funny how the militaries around the world always sort of forget to tell soldiers things. Like, oh,
Forget, yes.
yes, forget, yes. Oh, well, I guess we should have told you. Oh, did we tell you? Oh, sorry. So this was actually damage from World War I, some of these cracks.
The cracks here, yes, you can see this was World War I, but this part was not, it was destroyed to put the steel part. But you have some in the gallery that it doesn't work, because with 500 kilos,
Yeah.
you can see another destructions of the First World War.
Yeah.
And you can see also the difference between the two periods, because here the painting is white, all is white, but here you can see it's little blue. And why it's little blue? Because here it's the First World War painting, and in the First World War painting there was a material that came blue with water and air.
Yeah. 9 people, that's comfortable. Yeah. Small dorms, you have beer, damn. And then you have 500 kilo bombs that are dropping stuff on your head. Wow. So that came out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't penetrate, it actually just knocked off.
Yes, it didn't penetrate, but here it's because it's not reinforced concrete.
That's exactly. This is really where you see the difference in what happens if you don't have rebar.
Yeah,
that is something you really don't see in that sense. Anyway, really, that's amazing. Because had this been reinforced, it would probably have cracked a little bit, but it wouldn't have come down.
It didn't crack with reinforced concrete, because in the other side of the fort, in the toilets, we have a 500 kilos bomb fallen too, but there is no remainings of this bomb. This wall was new, but built with bricks.
Okay.
And here you can see the steel roof.
Yes.
Here, and this wall was only built to support this new steel. A cutting section of the gallery made with a 3D laser scan. And in black, it's the thickness or the thick of the concrete. And there you can see the result of the bombing. Here it's only a small part of the concrete thick that is fallen here.
Yeah, you see how they built it up for the dome, and then they couldn't fill it in. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess it would be hard to pump in cement even if you wanted to.
Because in the other part of the fort, when they put reinforced concrete, it was 3 meters thickness steel part, and here it's only 1.5 millimeters.
This was only for show.
Yeah.
Well, oopsie. That's what it's called in Denmark too, WC. How high up is the ground from here above us?
Here we have 3.5 meters concrete, simple concrete, and then it's 5 meters earth.
Ooh, that's a lot, and it still did all that damage. So more than 9 people. Still, I mean, they're large, they're comfortable. So the bomb hit 8 meters above us and still did this. What I really like is, this camera, besides the gyro stabilizer, so we're back by the entrance.
Yes.
The outside.
If you want to know,
Yes.
go to the right.
You don't have to ask. You should have read me by now. Ooh. I see rubble and bricks.
Yeah, it came a new time for the digging of the new floors.
Ooh, yeah.
And here it was the headquarters, the shooting office. And you can see that we are in an officer local, in an officer room, because the painting on the walls were beautiful.
I'm also seeing a very large drop here in the middle of it.
Yes, it's the access to a second shooting office in the new floors of the fort.
So was this a ladder or was this?
Yeah, there was a ladder.
Okay, so they could literally connect with the command and control below as well.
Yeah.
That's neat. And yes, very much like the painting on the wall.
A Greek painting.
Well, I guess somebody had it. Somebody decided.
I don't know the good history of this.
Signal office. So this will be what, the telephones or radios?
This was the radio room.
Radio. So they used radio, but they used telephones as well? Or?
Yeah, the telephone room was the first. And the two big locales here were for the small and the big arms. Weapons, sorry.
Yeah. I like the little detail of the How many people would work in here?
Here, wait, 3, 4, 8, a little less than 20%. Here for the First World War, you had 4 small cupolas for fast shooting 5.7 centimeters cannons. It was the same cannons then in the bunkers of to defend the moats. It was the same cannons, but here in bunkers and here in cupolas. It was the small weapons of the fort. And here you have the place called the Central Massif in French, with the big cupolas. Here 2 howitzer of 21 centimeters here on the top. Here cupolas for 2 cannons of 15 centimeters, and here 2 cupolas for 2 cannons of 12 centimeters. And here it's the weaponing during the First World War.
When it looked like that.
Yes, you can see here the small cupolas, the 4 small cupolas in the corner of the fort, and here you have the big cupolas, the 2 howitzer. Here the cupola for 2 cannons of 15 centimeters, and here the 2 cupolas for the 12 centimeters cannons.
And then things changed.
Yeah, for the Second World War, you have the same cupola. It was the same cupola, so the 19th century cupolas with new cannons, but it was not new cannons, it was old cannons from the German army, World War I German army. So here you had the 4 small cupolas with howitzer of 75 millimeters. And in the big cupola you had here the old cupola with 2 cannons of 12 centimeters at 2 cannons of 105 millimeters. Here the central cupola have 2 machine guns and 4 grenade launcher, just a bit like the mortars. And here it was the cupola with 1 cannon of 150 millimeters gun. It was the long range cupola. And they can shoot 20 kilometers around the fort. And you can see here the two cupola here has disappeared, and this cupola was rearmed with other cannons. Here it was the surgery room, the hospital, etc. Here it was the place with the tank, drink water tank.
Yes.
And we had here it was the boiler room.
Yep.
Here it was toilets. No, here it was oil local toilets, sleeping rooms, and then we have here to the shooting office.
Yes.
We will go now to the engine room, and we will go in the other part with the old part of the fort on the top. Of the remake or old electrical installations with old electrical boxes, and it was the main electrical panel of the fort here.
And the thing about this, you guys pretty much, you get no money for any of this.
No.
You only get whatever visitors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you need a lot more visitors, and I think you should.
Yeah.
And some volunteers. I think we should send a whole bunch of high school students from America. Just send them to you because, well, they're not doing anything anyway. Yep, I recognize the foundation there.
The remainings of engine room. Pay attention to this.
Yep,
It's dangerous, but the rest is okay. The place for the 2 generators.
So is it 600 watts?
It was here 2 oil motor, and it was boat motors.
But yeah.
And here the alternator.
You've seen marine engines. Pretty much the same as the French.
It was not the same, but it was the same principle.
Yeah.
Here it was Belgian motors.
Yeah. You had them. You had them made. You had your own company that made those here.
Yes, it was ACEC.
So when you get to this high ceiling, what is above us here?
During the First World War, here it was the other part of the engine room. The engine room was on 2 floors, but for the Second World War, it was too dangerous to occupy the second floor because it's too close from the surface.
Yeah.
So they built a very thick concrete protection here in the old room to protect the engine room above us. Yes.
Okay, so what are we looking? Are we still 5 meters under? We're not.
No, here it's the room was a little less than 5 meters high, I think, and then the other room was 3 meters on the top, and on the top of this room we have 4 meters concrete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has a high ceiling.
This engine room was very protected.
It should. This was the only one. There was no backup or anything.
Yes, it was the only one.
World War One, they were coal-fired engine power, and then oil in World War Two?
Yes, it was coal boiler with a steam system to produce a little part of electricity and to try to light the fort.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work very well, and during the first bombings of the forts here in Liège and Namur also, after the first bombing, all the electrical systems was out.
What was it here? The storeroom?
Yes.
Yes, store for pipes and stuff.
I don't know. Here it was mechanical reparation center, and here you can see the very thick concrete protection above the engine room.
You want to go up first?
Yes.
This is the original staircase, isn't it?
The metallic stair, no.
No?
It's only 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, what have you been dragging up here?
Next month we will have a new.
Wow.
Here we are in the bigger place of the fort. It was
kidding.
during the First World War. It was the assembly room, and it was the center of the fort. Here you can see in this plan. We are in the center of the central massif, with the access to the main cupolas of the fort, the access to the main gallery where we are, where we was. Here it was the First World War shooting office, and there it was the access to the head coffers, to the head bunkers of the fort. A big cupola, you can see the difference between the small cupola in the other side of the fort.
Yeah.
Soldiers is very smaller than the other view, and it was the cupola here, the center cupola.
And that was in there?
Now it's
Not there.
no. But here it's the original steel beam lock system.
So did they get hit and then they blocked it off?
No. Here it was an emergency exit.
Okay.
So it was in place before the Second World War.
Okay.
But here, because during the First World War it was the main access to the cupola, but during the Second World War they access to the cupola from a well with ladders. Okay. They came from the floor,
below.
the underground floor to here. Yes, this part it was built by the German during the First World War, during the German using of the fort, and it was to put fresh drink water tanks.
Oh, okay.
Here, because we are in high part of the fort, and then in the underground.
To pump the water, it's easier just to have water here.
Yeah.
And then you found all these little pieces.
Yeah. Where we dig the well of the cupola. And here we access from the first. We are here in the First World War access, but during the Second World War it was closed. Here and here, and soldiers came from here. It's the first part of a 3-part well with ladders to go in the underground floor.
Oh. So this is the leading down to the underground below where we were.
Yeah.
So they did figure out they had to go deeper.
And we are here, the Fort of Flemalle is the second deepest underground gallery of the Fort of Liège. And the deepest of Liège was is Pontis.
So now I have to come back to Pontis. with someone, with a tour guide or
With
the
the
key.
guide, yes. But Pontis is not very easy to make a visit because there it's only one guy for all the fort, and there are no electricity inside, etc.
Oh, much more interesting. But there are a lot of very nice horses that looked at me like I was a complete idiot when I have to climb the barbed wire.
Mm.
So this is where
It was the place of Cupola.
Yep.
And here it was 3 floors in the cupola for in total 23 soldiers. It was the cupola for the 19th century, so it was very old cupolas, and here it was the place of the rotating system, and all rotating, all the rotates were made with hand.
Really?
6 soldiers to turn. Here the mechanism.
So this is all World War One.
Yes, but reused for the Second
Of
World
course.
War.
And the difference is same steel domes, but hand cranked, hand turned. That's
Yeah.
a difference. But still, it was there, and it turned. And I'm guessing this is another underground.
Yes, it's the ammunition access.
This is where the ammunition. Okay. There's something special about this. So this got hit as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can see on these pictures after the Second World War fight, it goes to old rainwater tanks of the First World War, and if it's possible to put a caillou inside, you can hear that it's really big there.
Wow. I could hear the echo.
Yes, but it's not. Wait, I will try a second time. It's really big.
Yeah. So now we're coming up to another cupola up here.
The observation cupola. Here it was the access for the Second World War because the main room was closed.
Oh yeah.
They came here with ladders. And this was the access to the observation cupola. During the Second World War and during the First World War, it was a searchlight in the cupola.
Oh. Which is unfortunately also no longer there.
Yep. We'll make a tour. Okay. And here it's a part of door.
Armored door.
Yes. And it was German armored door.
This is German armored door.
Yes. This part was built by the Germans.
Really?
Yes.
World War One.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I guess they made improvements.
And you can see the difference because the top is not with galvanized steel.
True. So the Germans built this World War One intending to stay and fight for it.
Yes, because here it was barracks with no cannons. Cannons were gone.
Yeah.
But they had systems for infantry. It was an infantry barrack.
It's interesting that they should actually stay and improve and work on the forts in occupied territories. I guess they weren't planning on leaving. there's a sheep. And there's a lot of holes.
Yes, it's during the Second World War.
This, before the battle, was flat.
Yes. Not really flat, but more than now.
Wow.
And here you can see the result of the bombing of a small Stuka bomb, the 250 kilos bomb.
This was just a 250.
Yeah. And this is the big sister, the 500 kilos.
Wow. Really, wow.
Yeah. It's really impressive. Here it was 5 meters of earth, and all these 5 meters, are gone.
It's still amazing that a 500 kilogram bomb could have done all this. This is an enormous crater.
Yeah. And here,
Is this the one that broke?
no.
Here
Here
no?
it's above the toilets, but in the toilets we
Yeah.
see nothing because it's reinforced part. And the second was above the sleeping rooms.
It's hard on a camera to show the scale on this, but
And here in Flemalle we have 41 bombs, like craters bombs like this.
on such a small place.
Yeah.
So I guess we're looking at 250 there.
Yeah, but maybe I
Or
think that it's the measure of this type of bomb.
Of course, there's also some, and then you would have artillery shelling.
Yes, of course we have also artillery shelling, but it's not impressive as the Stuka bombing.
No. And down here on the side as well.
Yes, here it's above the sleeping rooms.
So that's the bomb that broke those pieces off.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
And here you can see our new goats.
Oh, you
small-
see a little new goat over there.
Yeah, it's they have 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
I guess this. No.
And here it's the place. It was the place for a small cupola of 75 millimeters.
So that's the daylight we could see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the fort with the most beautiful view on of the city of Liège.
Probably a good reason why the goats like to hang out here.
2 shooting ranges, but here it was the Polaris place. And there you can see the head bunker.
Yeah.
This tower was the air entry. It was also an observation post with six windows above the air entrance, and we have a gallery here of 400 meters length to go in this tower.
Obviously, a concrete tower protruding above the terrain will always be something of a bullet magnet, and certainly the Germans have fired an ungodly amount of munitions at it, to the point where the commander here was concerned that the advancing Germans might be able to enter the fort through the air intake bunker. And there are observers here on top too, so you can't really blame him.
Yay. This is really impressive.
Yes, it's also a bomb crater, but here we put cutted trees inside, because here 5 years ago all this surface was like the other side.
Trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta get rid of those.
Forest.
Forest gets in the way. Nature gets in the way. Another one.
Yeah.
So this is part of the old cupola.
Yeah, yeah. This is of a big cupola, and this is the small cupola.
This is World War I built.
Yeah, yeah.
Yet the metal doesn't look as solid as you would see in World War II.
No, it was a really breakable metal. But,
Yeah.
what's the
Was this also World War I or was this World War II?
No, it was also World War One.
What are we standing on? What's this brick? Is this...
Here it was the ventilation system of the radio post.
Okay. This thing just got tore up, didn't it? So there's a cupola up there, over there.
Here it was a cupola, and here in the central area you had during the First World War here a cupola, and there also, but during the Second World War these two cupolas were gone.
There's rebar sticking up. What's that from?
But you can see it's the top of the old cupola with a new concrete
Okay,
closing system.
gotcha.
Here it's the place for another small cupola, 75 millimeters.
So you got the towers and you got the sand, those filled up with sand to catch the bullets that might come from that way. And then you would have had searchlights and machine guns in there.
Yeah.
So this cracked from the 500 kilogram bomb that
Yeah.
in that hole.
Yeah.
And this is reinforced. This is World War I.
Yes. But here
You really see the difference from what reinforcement makes.
Yeah. Then you can also see that the reinforcing system works really.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, this really cracked.
And all the earth you can see on the top of the concrete provides from the explosions from the bombing of the Second World War. Before Second World War, all this concrete area was with no earth.
So this is
Above.
literally just dirt that has been blown up on top of.
Yeah.
Wow. It's interesting that they attacked this fort with planes so much more than artillery. Were you out of range of German artillery for the most of the fighting?
No, but it was easier for German to bomb with planes, because here, not far away from here, we have an airplane, the airplane of Liège, but it was already an airplane during the Second World War. So
Okay, so you had an airport here.
Yeah.
Did the Belgium Air Force fly out of the airport?
I don't know if it was used by the Belgian Air Force during during the first day of Second World War, but it was used by the German during the other days.
Did the Belgium Air Force fly? Did you have much of an Air Force at that time?
Yes, a very small, but yes, we had an Air Force, but in the first hours of the 10 May, it was destroyed by the German. And here it was the place of the cupola of 150 millimeters.
Was this the one we were in?
No.
Okay.
We were in.
So this was 150 or 250s?
150.
150.
It was a marine cannon. An old World War I German marine cannon.
It was free.
Yeah.
They were on sale in 1918.
And here it was this cupola where we were before.
It would have been impressive to see with this in place.
Yes, of course. I can see if you want.
View out here.
Yeah.
A lot of destruction and holes. Speaking of destruction and holes. What the hell was it? Such an enormous hole. It's almost impressive that the Germans could pull it out of here. I mean,
Also, yes.
given the resources to pull these things out of here was.
Yeah. But we have a lot of pictures of this period by the German Todd organization.
Oh, good. So this is what the fort mostly would look like, without all the dirt and the.
Yes. But here, during the First World War, it was the place of a cupola.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference with the concrete.
Yeah, I'm standing in a circle. Aren't I?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
It's why you can see metallic parts, because here it was concrete.
From the upper old level. So this was built.
For the Second World War. For the First World War, there was only a trap to go, stairs to go above, and here it was built for the Second World War. Pay attention to your feet because it's dangerous.
It is a small and stable staircase.
Yes.
But
The last part is the worst.
okay. Oh wow. Who built this thing? And how drunk were they?
No, originally it was good,
I
but
suppose.
here it was a problem during before, a few days before the Second World War, with the ventilator system that was here, and the reparation room was above, and then they have tried to put the motor of the ventilator above, but the rope broke, and the motor fell down here and killed the soldier here.
Really?
Yeah. A few days before the fighting.
I mean, you don't have to start until the enemy gets here. Still.
And so it's why this last part of the the stair is broken.
That is very tragic.
And here, this floor was named the quad floor. Why? Because it's the form of a square, and it's only the access to the different cupolas. Here, it's the access from the cupolas of 105 millimeters. It's the ammunition access.
Yeah. Or what's left of it.
It was the ammunition lift that we have seen before.
And the gas-tight doors.
Yeah, to make an airlock. And there it was the access from the soldiers.
So now we're, what, 18 meters below?
Yes, 18 meters from the ground of the main gallery. But we are in more than 25 meters deep from the surface.
And there used to be a ladder here.
Yeah. Now all these galleries are empty, but during the fighting of May 40, all was full with ammunition stock.
So you too knew it was coming. I mean, Belgium was prepared. It wasn't a surprise.
No.
And you had been on alert for several days here as well, right?
Yes, in French we named that the funny war.
The funny, yeah. Oh, yeah, because war was declared.
It's the period between 1939 and 1940.
Yeah.
When all the soldiers were ready to fight, but nothing happened. Here is the access to the air tower. For the toilet.
Well, that's important. You don't have to run stairs.
Here's the soldier access to the cupola of machine gun and grenade launchers. Here is the access to a small cupola of 75 millimeters. And here all this place was full of ammunitions.
Really?
Yes, only 75 centimeters to go, and all the
In the hallways.
remaining place was ammunition. Here is the access to the headquarters from the head of the fort.
Oh, that's where the headquarters was up here.
Yes. Not the headquarters.
Oh, the communication.
The bunkers. The bunkers to defend the moats.
Oh, okay. So you would come out in the bunkers on the outside of the moats.
Yeah.
Through here.
Yeah. And here is the access to another cupola of 75 millimeters.
There seems to be something missing.
Of course. normally we don't come here with the visitors, so it's why we have a lot of lightning points broken. Because we don't game really often here. We game only often here. And here it's the access to the 150 millimeters turret with the marine cannon.
That got filled up a lot.
Yeah.
So that filled up after the war, I guess.
Oh yes, it's after the war. The access for ammunition lift. There's some remains here.
Yeah, there's still a little left there. I'm surprised they didn't take that metal. I mean, they took the roof, so I mean...
Yeah, I don't know why it's sometimes weird.
Ah.
That was weird, strange.
So the Germans took the old cast iron World War I domes and remelted them.
Yeah.
I mean, was there really anything else they could do with them?
No, it was the only thing they can do because it was really old cupola with no. Here is the stairs to go on the main gallery.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, we did walk around in the square.
Yeah. Ventilation room.
This was ventilation room.
Yeah.
But it has nice paint on the wall.
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Maybe it was something else at some other point.
Maybe in the beginning it had to be another destination for the locale. And here it's the access to the air gallery.
And the corrugated iron is still in place, I see.
Yeah. And here it's the second shooting office.
Oh wow. So, this was the other command and control.
Yeah.
It's not doing as good as the one upstairs.
Yes, but I don't know why.
This was all ammunition storage.
Yeah. And in the end of the gallery, you have the main ammunition lift that we have seen in the very beginning of the visit. But we don't have
What's left of it?
seen the ammunition, but
Yeah.
well, it's still in place.
Yeah, we were up there. Oh wow, yes.
Yeah.
Cabling.
Well, all is dirty, but it's really hard to clean.
I mean, when it's authentic dirt, then you don't want to clean it. It's the new stuff. The stuff that came after 45. That's a big ammunition storage.
Yeah.
And here's for, the cables were here.
Attention to your head.
I know, I was looking at the cables. This is where cables were in the wall, right?
Yeah. Road for electrical cables, because here all the cables from the floor above us came from here. Here it was the shell, the fuses locale.
Fuses.
Yeah. And this is the access of the air intake gallery. But If you want to make it, you can, but it's 400 meters.
Well, I don't mind. Do you have time?
I don't think so.
There's a really cool, very small group of volunteers and a whole lot of sheep helping to keep this place alive.
For me, this really was an interesting visit, and the virtual reality really helps clarify how the fighting positions looked. And a visit here is highly recommended, as it is for other forts with destroyed compartments to consider hiring Valentine to create these for them. And I am coming back for the long walk to the ventilation tower, because this too I have to see, and so do you. And remember, if you don't subscribe to my channel, something horrible will happen to someone, somewhere, at some point. Now there, you can't have that on your conscience, now can you?
My name is Tino Struckmann. I run Lost Battlefields. Every year, I travel around the world to try to bring you to all the most interesting historical military locations from modern wars and the World War II special projects, battlefields, forts, fortresses, and tunnels, everything else. Things you may not be able to see or go to yourselves. Please join me on Patreon or join Lost Battlefields through the website so you get access to all my files and my notes. It really does help, and like, follow, share here on the channel if you can. That helps too.